Time now for the Educated Retirement Show with your host, Jay Kaplan. Jay discusses reverse mortgages and can answer your questions at 951-922-3532. Call lines are open at 951-922-3532. And now here's Jay.
Yeah, here I am, and I do endorse this program. So there. Oh, there's more music coming back. Is that because of what I said? I don't know. But welcome to the Educated Retirement Radio here on KMET 1490 AM, where we contemplate retirement and how to best stay prepared for that retirement and how to best stay successfully retired. And if you're not quite retired yet, like I aren't, it's still how to get ready for that. So please call, email, or visit www.drheckham.com, just like it shows right here, DRHECM. And you could always use, like the radio show says, theeducatedretirement.com, right there. So if not, then give me a call or do both. And there is my number, 866-955-2233. Yeah, that is the number. I even remembered it. But have at it. Why should you call that? Because knowledge is power. So when you go over to drheckham.com or theeducatedretirement.com, you used to need to put the Educated Retirement Radio, but I fixed that. You can, either way, it all goes there. So be sure to jump down halfway down the front page, and you can see the YouTube channel, or you can link to the YouTube channel. You can also link to this show and anybody else's show that's been on KMET. But you can go there quickly to watch this show live. There is a lot of shows on there, and I don't take too long getting them because Sean, our engineer, sends me the videos pretty quickly, so I get them up there pretty quickly. And remember, 866-955-2233, where knowledge is power. And my day job is at the Loan Source. That's the name of the company. My NMLS number is 384565, and I do not sell real estate, but I am equipped with a license to answer questions or to send you to whoever I think might be able to give you some good advice. And that number is 792-630. Today is National Cream Pie Day, and I had a chocolate cream pie earlier I was going to use for the show, but I already ate it all. Cream pies, well, let me just put it this way. Any kind of pie does not last too long. And what kind of pie did we have last night? It was apple crumb, and boy, it was good. Today is also National Electric Guitar Day. And this is also Jimi Hendrix's birthday, but we'll get more into that in a little bit. It's also Red Planet Day, that acknowledges the launching of Mariner 4 back in 1964. And we have, what's the name of the one headed for Mars now? We'll be there in about 5 months.
Perseverance.
Perseverance is persevering its way to Mars right now. And we will come back to Mars and the rat, bat, spider in a few minutes here. Remember, though, that we do believe in challenging the status quo. Families and people need to be active, not reactive. And in case you forgot, it is the Educated Retirement that you're listening to here on your home planet, KMET, the Mighty Met. And who else's birthday is it today? It is Jimi Hendrix's birthday. And I'm just going to show this to start with. Yes, I have other Jimi Hendrix albums, and probably maybe you and your family also does. But this is one that came out not very long ago. And it features just blues, straight blues kind of recordings. And that was, I guess, earlier, or things that were not published before that. Nice little booklet comes with it. I feel like I'm one of those YouTube channels that opens records for people, but I do recommend that record. It's not super easy to find because it's not mainstream type Hendrix, but it is really good. And although his mainstream career, speaking of mainstream, lasted only about 4 years, he is recognized as one of the most influential electric guitarists in the history of popular music, or maybe just in the history of music. So as a young boy, he found a ukulele in a pile of trash with only one string. And learning to play by ear, he played only single notes, but he sure got to know which one was which. At the age of 15, he acquired his first guitar for $5 and played for hours listening to blues artists. The first song he learned to play was the theme from Peter Gunn, which is kind of bluesy. Just to let you know, this is one of the best of all of, I think, Mancini's works, and he did so many that are just great. That's the almost the original. I've got about 10 of these, so one of them's more original than the others, and one of them is also a very special, heavy printing. I also got this to show. It's exactly the same. Everything is the same except for the color on the cover. And there's another one called More Music from Peter Gunn. But I have a note on the back here that says a very noisy record on both sides. Try not to play. And it's also warped, and it says must be replaced, but I've never found another one. So there. So, but anyway, eventually he, Jimi, got a short gig with the Midnighters. After that, he was able to form his own his own band, and that was called the Velvetones. Sounds like a nice name, but the Velvet Touch doesn't exactly remind me of Jimi Hendrix. Anyway, after his time in the Army, he performed as a backup musician for Wilson Pickett, Sam Cooke, Ike and Tina Turner, and in 1964, he won first prize at the Apollo Theater's amateur contest. So after touring with Little Richard and the Isley Brothers, he went on to television appearances, concerts in London, I'm sure in this country also. London is actually England and Paris. Okay, we're talking about cities only, I guess. London and Paris, as well as Monterey Pops Festival and Woodstock, where he stole the show in many of those cases. He won the Lifetime Achievement Award, Grammy, in 1992, which was well past his lifetime, but at least he got that recognition. And his records have sold more than 30 million. Now, this next name, I remembered the name, but I couldn't quite place it for a little while. But yeah, famous. Buffalo Bob. And I think the Buffalo part of it came from him living in Buffalo. But he joined us in 1917 and left us in 1998. So he was a singing piano player and radio personality known for hosting the children's show Howdy Doody. So here he is with the puppet that was supposedly crafted to be a spitting image of his sister. Face. Okay, unlucky sister, but cute puppet. And just in case, there is Howdy Doody, not to be infused with Captain Howdy from The Exorcist, of course. So, what do you think? Do I look good that way? I can't. Anyway, that show, Howdy Doody, ran from 1947 to 1960. First children's show to win a Peabody Award. He started in radio in the early 40s and went on to WBEN in Buffalo, taking the place of a little-known DJ or master of ceremonies by the name of Jack Parr when Parr was drafted. So the audience of screaming kids was called the Peanut Gallery, with Buffalo Bob shouting the signature question, "Hey kids, what time is it?"
It's Howdy Doody time.
All right, that's the closest kid I got around. It's Howdy Doody time. And don't forget Clarabelle the Clown with his seltzer bottle. Now, I like seltzer bottles, but that doesn't help me much these days. There he is. I'm sure some of you remember, some of you obviously wouldn't. But there he is looking like that. And I also like this picture. He looked a little more human, earthy here.
That was Captain Kangaroo.
So, yeah, I mentioned Clarabelle. And he was the first actor to play Clarabelle, and his name is Bob Keeshan, Keeshan, who later became Captain Kangaroo. And the picture I showed you, the one picture, was of Captain Kangaroo. But here is a very important fact. William Shatner played Ranger Bob in the Canadian version of the show. So he played the main host for the Canadian version of Howdy Doody. Wow. Ranger, Captain Kangaroo, and Captain Kirk all come together in this very important note. So there. Also, the executive producer of that Canadian show, a guy by the name of Sidney Newman, then moved to England and joined the BBC to create shows like Doctor Who and The Avengers. But just so you don't forget William Shatner, I think I've shown this to you, but I'll take every excuse to show you any of these. See? And it also comes with a big poster signed electronically by him. But I hate to leave one out without his partner, right? Leonard Nimoy. Now, music from outer space. What do you think? And show another nice picture of him there. And of course, we have the 1701 here, which is a reference to Forbidden Planet, and we've gone over that in the past, but we won't right now. Marshall Thompson was also born in 1925 and left us in 1992, an American film and television actor that was in over 50 television roles and movie roles. He attended high school with Marilyn Monroe and enrolled at Occidental College to study dentistry. And his only real successful extraction was dropping out of acting. That's a better way. Pulling out of dental school and into acting. And he starred in horror and science fiction films that I really like. This is one of the best you'll ever find anywhere. It's a Criterion copy of Fiend Without a Face. It's got these brains with the spinal stems coming out and moving. It's really cool. I mean, that is cool. There's also First Man in Space, which, there you go. And he also played in It, The Terror Beyond Space. And that film is said to be the film that inspired Ridley Scott to make Alien. And just to show you, not that you see much here, remember when Alien was only 4 films? Well, that's what that goes back to, 4 films. Now we have 6, and we'll talk about those other 2 at another time. There's more to say about Robert L. Kahn, C-A-H-N, the director of It, The Terror from Outer Space, but that's going to have to wait, except for a few short reminders. And here's another one he did, Reptilicus. Okay. Oh, love that picture. Invasion of the Saucer Men. Okay. And one of our all-time favorites, The Angry Red Planet. And it's lovely rat, bat, spider. So, I mean, yeah, you know about that. You got to. If not, you better get caught up. Okay.
That's the premiere. That's on this day.
Okay. Oh, okay. So, Thompson also did so much television, but what really surprised me, and I learned this quite a while ago, because of my familiarity with the movie roles that I always knew, was his huge interest in the preservation and health of wild animals. Therefore, his part in the television show Daktari was a lot more than just a television part. And I picked up that news from what I consider the most reliable source of such film material on television right now. No, not TCM, not even close. This is Sven Gulli. And that's Saturday night on MeTV. And, you know, if you're not with it, you're not watching it, but otherwise you are. And a couple of honorable birthdays. Bill Nye, the science guy, came to us in 1955. And one I'm sorry I can't get to much because we're almost out of time is Bruce Lee, 1940. I have to 43. That's not quite right. That would only be 3 years old. Now he accomplished a lot, but not in those 3 years. So I'll get that corrected pretty soon. But this guy was a real trailblazer in the world of motion pictures. And I just didn't have the time after I found out about his birthday to get much for the show, but we can always get that pushed back in. So let me just throw in that just after the COVID scare and the lockdown brought home buying almost to a halt, home buying activity resumed with abandon. Means a lot. With low mortgage rates locked in and a desire for more space amid the pandemic, Americans flooded the housing market in search of new homes. Even now, winter, well, it's almost winter, home sales activity typically slows down at this time, but not now. Americans are still buying properties way ahead of last year's pace, or any other year's pace at this time, I would think. In many ways, the pandemic has driven this home buying craze. Experts say this has been an accelerant to lifestyle and behavior changes that were already underway. Case in point, the pandemic appears to have nudged the timeline forward for many millennials households who might have otherwise waited a few more years to become homeowners or to move up. Since the price of a home is dependent on interest rates, we're buying at good prices right now, whatever the price tag may say. So back at the start of the pandemic, most economists and mortgage industry experts didn't expect rates to drop below 3%, but that's just what happened. In the near term, mortgage rates are likely to stay low, so they may raise above the record lows that we've hit in recent weeks, and that's because the Federal Reserve has indicated that it doesn't plan to hike rates soon. In time, though, a vaccine would naturally cause rates to raise. It should be overall interest rates up. Why? Because it improves prospects, that is, a vaccine would improve prospects for economic growth. And this is the time to ask yourself those questions that in better times we just don't ask ourselves. We talked about that on a previous show, but it's time to look at life insurance, more of it, yes or no. How about that HECM? Remember, you get to put more on the shelf without losing equity when rates are the lowest and the home values are the highest. Do you really know what will happen to home prices in the post-COVID era? And with that, we do have Angry Red Planet to talk about that opened. That was a masterpiece that took 9 years to do, and it was done in what was called Cinemagic, which is just hand-drawn animation and solarization. Give me that rat bat spider I showed before, but I'm getting ready to show it again, and we are also more than that. I just let you know the same director as Angry Red Planet did the screenplay for Robinson Crusoe at Mars, so just do not go away. We will be right back with John Dario as our guest, and we're going to talk about mortgage economists, and he's a little bit of all of those and an attorney. Stay with us. Thanks so much.